Hi, it's Karen Gilbert from Simply Said with Karen, and I'm sorry I'm so late, but technology got the better of me today. Facebook screwed up my page on my phone, and so I had to set it all up again. But here I am now. So I hope you've seen the sketch that I posted this morning to let you know what I'm doing today. So we're going to use the sun and sand, or the sand and sea suite, and in my personal opinion it's beautiful. I just don't know how to describe it in words, and because when you see it you'll fall in love with it. So I'm going to be doing this card, which I did yesterday, and I want to show you some tips and tricks so that you can recreate this if you want to, or use these on another card. It's whatever you like. So in this card I have used the friends are like seashells, and it has some really nice sayings and lots of different sea life here. And I've used the die, and you're probably wondering what the heck is this. Well, it's the die that will cut out the stamp. No, it'll cut out the page, and I thought I had one. Oh, right, I do. This is how it looks when you cut out. So it cuts it out like that. Now you can use it like that. You can sponge it, or you can put it into the embossing folder, which is the Seashells 3D embossing folder. And it's really easy to line up. So then you just put it in there, and I'm going to go just in a minute, so excuse me, and emboss it. So here's what it looks like when it's embossed. It's very pretty, and I've used this on the Sahara sand, which has a bit of a sheen anyways, but you can sponge it then or cut out the various pieces, and that's what I'm going to be using on this card today. I hope I'm in frame here. I'll just try and there. Okay, so let's get started. And you're going to love this paper. It's pearl essence paper, and it's just beautiful. And I have sponged on this, and I have cut it out with the die. So what's neat about it is if you want to use any of these elements, you just trim them, and then you can put ink on them, shade them however you like. So let's get started with this card. And I've started with Sahara sand. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25, just like regular. And I've used, in this card I used the Blushing Bride. On this one I've used the Seaside Spray. And I use the embossing folder from the Whale of a Tale, and it's the Seabed 3D embossing folder. So these two sets you can use together, and you probably could make some fabulous cards or scrapbook pages or whatever. So I've done that with the Seaside spray. So I'm just going to put that on. I'm really sorry about being late. I guess you'd think I'd learn after a while. I could never get everything going on the first try, but better late than never. So I just used some Tombow, or I guess it's multi-purpose liquid glue, and just laid it on there. This one is 4 by 5 1/4, so that it has a narrow border. Then this is the Pearlescent paper, and I have already embossed it, and this is 1 inch, I think. Just a minute. It's 1.5 inches by 5 inches. Now what I did was I embossed it, but I'm going to give it a little bit of color, and I'm going to use the blending brushes. Have you seen the blending brushes? They are so soft and so beautiful that I'm sure you would get lots of use out of them for the different things. Now the thing is to use a gentle hand when you start, and start it off the paper, because you can always add more, but you can't take it away. So here we go. So you can see it really coming to life a bit here. And I'm sorry if anybody's leaving comments, I can't see them. So if you leave a comment, I'll promise to go back and see how you're doing. There, so we'll just put that on there. And I'll answer your questions or your comments or whatever you say. So we're just going to add this to here. And if you had time to look at the sketch, it's a really simple one, but when I get finished here, I'm going to show you how I stepped up the sketch. There. Now this is a piece of Designer Series paper, and it just goes across here, so it's 1 inch by 4 inches, I think. Yeah. So then we're just attach it here. This is crooked. Story of my life. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead. This is the circle that will go here. And what I used is, these are the stitch shapes. And I used this size to cut out this circle. And then I cut another piece with this circle. So it's the two, well, the second largest and the third largest. And I'm going to stamp on here, and I'm using this Love to the Beach and Back. You could easily use this for Valentine's Day, but it has lots of sayings on it. Happy birthday. Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. But I'm going to use the Love You to the Beach and Back, and And I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight. This has got to be my most favorite color. I'm a bit partial to blues anyways. I'm just going to stamp it here. There. Now I'm going to show you a trick, if I can find it. Here it is. This is a silicone craft mat, and I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue on it, because we all know that vellum is really hard to put adhesive on it and have it not show. So I'm going to just take a piece of paper and just kind of smear it. Put some more on here. Put some more. Just kind of spread it along the back of where I stamped, so it'll be somewhat hidden. Now you can just set this off to a side and let it dry, and then you can use some packing tape or painter's tape or anything that you'd like to clean it off with. It comes off really easily. Okay, so here we go. There. Now we want to put some shells there and some greenery. So I've already taken and used the die to cut out the shell, which is this one here. So it goes like that. This is the pearlescent paper again. And here is the seashell. So that one is this one here. So I just took some scraps and just cut out. You can cut out anything you like. Now, when I went to emboss it, it's pretty easy to line up. Just remember that you want to have this logo, Stampin' Up's logo, on the front, and this is the seashell here. So you just line it up like this. And sometimes it's tricky, but it's not tricky to line it up, but it's tricky to get this shut without moving it, and then get it into the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's that. And the seashell is the same way. You just line it up here. Let's see, where is it? There we go. And push that down. You might have to adjust it a bit. And hold your tongue straight so that it doesn't move. There. Maybe if I do this. I have some Post-it note tape. This, and you can always use this. It's for labeling and cover up tape. So often we have been asked to use painter's tape, but I find that sometimes it doesn't come off so easily But this one does. It comes off really, really cleanly. So just put this on here like that. Put this tape on and then just put it down like that. You can always put the tape on the edges that you're going to trim. And then you can just stick the tape aside and use it again. So again, I'm going to use the Sahara sand to give it some color. So you don't need very much because this is already texturized, and so it just is so pretty. Yeah, I think it even brings out the shine more. Okay, so then we just trim these little knobbies off. And the same with this one. You can use this folder and embossing folder and the dies in so many different ways. You can even stamp and then cut it out with the die cut, or you can just fussy cut if you like. Okay, now for the last one, we're going to use a bit of greenery, and I cut this one out with this. Okay, so I just lined it up because I wanted some leaves or something, so this cut out, and then I lined this one up again with the embossing folder. And again, I used a bit of this tape and got it so that it was stuck on a place that it didn't need to be embossed. So I just put that down and ran it through the embossing machine. So for this one, I'm going to take the, oh, I have to get it here. The mint macaron, and I can't see it. Mint macaron ink. I guess we'll just go with, that's strange, it's not there. Oh well, oh there it is. If it was any closer it would have hit me. I'm just going to take this now and use this to sponge a bit. And here we go. It's just to give it some color. I used garden green on the one that I did, and I'm not sure that I like it. So this comes off really easily, doesn't tear your cardstock or anything. And again, we're just going to do some cutting. And some of this doesn't matter because it's going to be hidden by the circle. There. So we're just, I think I'll trim this too. There. So we're just gonna, you can just put it down to see how you would like to attach it. So I think this is pretty good. So I want to attach this shell, this one here, this way. So we'll go here like that. Then we'll put our greenery down so we have some of the shells peeking out behind the cutouts. There. Now we're going to put this other shell behind it, and it'll be sitting on top of the greenery. I think I'll do this. Going to use dimensionals to put the circle on. So I have my mini dimensionals here. We'll put 4 along the sides, and then we will put one in the middle. Take the okay. See, I probably got that too low, so then it covers up some of that beautiful paper. The last thing we need to do is put, these are the embellishments that come with the suite, and they're opal rounds, and they're really, really pretty. So we're going to put a few of those on. Put one there. One there. One up here. So then you can, it's done now, so you can always, I smeared my ink on here too. You can always take and put a panel on the inside and put another verse on there and maybe spruce it up with some of the designer series paper. The suite also comes with, see if I can find them fast. I doubt it. I'll just show you. It comes with some stickers that you can use as well. These ones here, the shell stickers. And I used them on one of these cards I did. Here. So now that we have this finished, I'm going to show you the stepped up version and just talk a little bit about it as well. On this one I used the whole sheet of the pearlescent paper and embossed it. Then I used some of the designer series paper, and this particular sheet is, let me get it, is variegated, so that it has 3 different colors on it. It has, where is it? Here. It has the So Saffron and the Blushing Bride moving into the Melon Mango, and then the Seaside Spray. So you can use it anyhow, which way you want. And for this one I used it, I cut a strip with the rectangle, stitch rectangles, and I cut it so that the yellow, the So Saffron, would show, and then it came down. I must have cut it this way so that you can see a little bit of the pink, and then I just cut another little strip to go across, so it's the same layout. And then instead of the circle here, I use the shell, the large shell. I don't know if you can see that. This one here, let me put something behind it. This is the large shell here that I used. I cut it out with this one here, and then embossed it. And I put some Wink of Stella on it, just to give it a little bit of shine. I stamped there's a starfish, or I guess it's a sand dollar, and I stamped that one on Sahara sand with Sahara sand ink, and the same with the teeny tiny seashells and the starfish. The Blushing Bride twine, Baker's twine, is from the set, the snail mail set, so you can get that color in that set, and the leaves are just stamped and cut out with their own dies. And then I just used the Pick-a-Punch. I stamped on the pearlescent paper and cut it out with a Pick-a-Punch and backed it with a larger one. So here's where I use the sticker. So I just stamped a greeting on the inside of the card, and that's it stepped up. So here's 3 cards, and I have a 4th. Maybe I have a 4th. I do have a 4th. I don't know how I put things down and then they get lost. But that's the way it goes. No, I can't find it. Anyways, I will have that one on my blog today, and I will also be posting this card. Actually, it'll probably be this card on my blog along with the video. So it's www.simplysaidwithkaren. So if you have time to stop by, and if you need to look at this video again, if you need any tips, it'll be on my Facebook page and on my blog. So thank you for joining me. Again, I apologize for being late. Next time I'll get started early. So thank you, and have a great afternoon. Bye now.